Oh man, you know, I was going to make a video on this topic, and I then watched other people's videos on the same topic, and they really hit the nail on the head. And there's not really much more I can say when it comes to this topic, and that's why I held off doing this video, because I tend to most of the time try to do my own stuff. I try to be as original as I can because I don't want to feel like I'm piggybacking off of other people and repeating the same stuff that other people do. I like to try to do my own thing. But I was at work this morning and I kept thinking about this topic, and I need to vent. I need to vent about this for a little bit, and because this is just unfreaking believable that this is going on. But I'm going to link some of these videos in the description, and if you haven't checked any of these out yet, I suggest you do. They do a great job of hitting the nail on this topic, and I'm going to give you my thoughts too. Nintendo. It seems like every time I think that they are not going to make any more huge, major mistakes than they already have, they somehow prove me wrong. And it's a shame. So, yeah, this new Nintendo YouTube policy, which was to replace, or it's going to replace, their old YouTube policy, which was to take all of YouTubers' ad revenue from their videos, because Nintendo feels like they're completely entitled to 100% of someone else's earned revenue, which is completely outrageous, and people, rightfully so, spoke their opinion on the matter, and they were really pissed about it, as they should be. But Nintendo decided to update their policy and revise it. Not to revise it as in, you can make your own YouTube videos with your own creativity, even if you're using our games, and have fun with YouTube and have fun with your creativity, because we appreciate our fans, and have at it, as with most game companies. Did they do that? Did they do that? No, they did not do that. Instead, their new policy, which by the way I will also link in the description, is that they will share the ad revenue with the YouTuber, provided that they send their videos to them to be looked over, and they will also share more revenue with you if you actually sign your channel up to them, to this new policy they have. You have to actually sign your channel up. And I'm sure they think, and anyone who is even going to defend them on this, I'm sure they think that's being generous. That, we're being generous with you. You should feel appreciated by us that we're doing this for you. They just really don't freaking get it. They don't. Now don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. They are within their legal rights to do this, because it is their intellectual property. They're within their rights to do this. But that doesn't mean it's morally right. And that doesn't also mean that it's going to make them look any good, because it's the complete opposite. It's going to make them look really, really bad. In fact, it's going to make them look like that they hate YouTubers who put up Nintendo content. And even though they're within their right to do this, it's still completely absurd. And I'll give you an example of how absurd it is. At how absurd this is. And at the end of this example, you're going to think this is really stupid, but just hear me out. Let's just say there was a contest. A contest that you had to write a 20-page short story about anything. And the prize was $1,000. So let's say me, for example, I write that 20-page short story, I hand it in, and I win the contest. So I get $1,000. Imagine if the person who invented paper then came out and said, "Oh no, you used my product to write your story. So I'm entitled to all that money that you just received because you used my product." I'll take it another one. What if whoever invented the pen or pencil came out and said that same thing? You used our product to write your story, to show your creativity. You used our product. We are entitled to that money you just earned. Now be honest with me. Doesn't that sound really, really stupid? It really should. It really should. And then that's never happened, as far as I know. Anything like that. Because it's absurd. It's absolutely freaking absurd. I wrote the story in the example. The paper and the pen were the tools I used to write that story. Just as a lot of YouTubers out there use these games as tools to fuel their creativity, no matter what it is they're doing. Whether they're doing Let's Plays, whether they're making commentaries, whether they're streaming, it doesn't matter. The games are the tools that they're using. And that is why this is absurd. What's wrong with using tools to do your own creative projects? Is there something wrong with that? Because I've not been aware of this. I've used many products over the many years I've been alive to do projects, to do several different things. And yes, some things I've gotten paid for. And the creators of those products don't come out and say, "Oh, we're now entitled to this money." Here's another example. Imagine if there's a race with race cars and someone wins a race. Does whoever made the car, whether it's like Chevy, Ford, what if they come out and say, "No, you got to give us the money now because you used our product in that race"? See? It's absurd. It's freaking absurd. Now, once again, as absurd as it sounds, they're within their legal right to do it. But see, there's a reason why most companies don't do this. It is because it will make them look bad. And in this day and age, especially with the video game industry, advertisement is probably the most important thing that can happen to a game. Because there are a lot of lesser known games out there. Whether they're indie games, whether they're actual AAA games that went on console that didn't get a lot of attention. All it takes is for one or two well-known YouTubers to put up that game, and all of a sudden, bam, that game gets attention. Now, it could be good attention, it could be a bad attention, but it's getting attention. It's becoming relevant. And a lot of these developers in the gaming industry, a lot of times, should be thankful for a lot of these YouTubers for playing some of these games. Because I guarantee you that there are a lot of people out there that have bought some of these video games just because a YouTuber that they like has played these games. I've done it before. See, I'm subscribed to people on YouTube not for the games they play. I'm subscribed to people on YouTube for the people. For the person themselves. Doesn't matter what game they're playing. I'm there to watch that person. I'm going to go on and assume that a lot of people are the same way. We watch YouTubers for the YouTuber. And the YouTuber, more often than not, has gained their subscriber base because of their own creativity and their own personality. And you know what? That should not be discounted, because I've seen several comments on this issue talking about how YouTubers shouldn't feel entitled to money, that they're lazy, that they need to get a real job, that this is easy, and they're just being arrogant about it, and it's unbelievable. It really is. First off, if this was so goddamn easy, then why don't you do it? To whoever made comments like that. Why don't you do this? If it's so freaking easy. You know, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how people can make comments like that and to think that this is easy. Because it's easy to make a YouTube channel and get 6-digit subscribers. It's that easy. Then I guarantee you there'd be a lot more people doing just that. Hell, I've been doing YouTube for over 5 years now. And I only recently got to 3 digits of subscribers. And I appreciate any of you who are watching this who are subscribers. I really appreciate it. But this isn't easy. You have to have the right personality. You have to have charisma. And you know what? I probably don't have it. And that's perfectly fine. That is perfectly fine. I do this for fun. Any subscribers I may or may not get, it is what it is. I do this because I enjoy doing it. And I put up videos for people who might want to be interested in some things I have to say, and I've actually put up some footage of some games to get these games, to get them attention. For people who might not have played some of these games before. The 2 playthroughs that I had in mind when I first got my capture card was Banjo-Kazooie and Gex 3. Because I wanted people who may not have played these games to see these games and maybe hopefully become interested in them because they're really good games. Now, I'm not saying this as in those are the only videos of those games on the website. That's not true. But I wanted to add more videos out there to pile onto the attention that those games should be getting. And when I put up those videos, I never got any matched third-party content from them, the people who made those games, but every time I put up any Nintendo-related video, I immediately get a matched third-party content. Immediately. And it doesn't affect my channel because I don't monetize my videos. But to the other YouTubers who actually have made a living off of YouTube due to their own hard work and creativity, and yes, I'm saying hard work because it is actual hard work. It might not be back-breaking hard work, but there is hard work that goes into it. There is. And it would suck to see their livelihoods get affected because Nintendo is greedy. And that's what it boils down to. It boils down to greed. That's all there is to it. How is gamers putting up Nintendo footage actually hurting Nintendo? Can someone answer that for me? How is it hurting Nintendo as a company? It isn't. If anything, it gives Nintendo free advertisement because Lord knows Nintendo isn't going to freaking advertise their own games. I don't see any commercials on television for anything Nintendo related nowadays, and it's been like that for years. For some reason, Nintendo doesn't want to advertise their own stuff. It's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. So, it's up to the gamers to do it. But then Nintendo kicks dirt in their face if they dare put ads on their video, and how dare you make a little money off of it. So yeah, like my video title suggests, why do Nintendo hate YouTubers? Because that's what it seems like to me. It seems like they hate YouTubers who put up footage of their games. And at this point, they need all of the fans they can get at this point. But they keep hurting their reputation. And I'm glad to see a lot of people speaking up on this matter. There's even big Nintendo fans that are even speaking up on this matter. But unfortunately, honestly, to me, I think Nintendo is too far gone. They are too far gone to see the light on issues like this. And I also hate to say this, but a lot of people who, well, not a lot of people, but even some of the people who've made videos talking about this issue, like I'm doing right now, in a way, they're going to inadvertently become enablers to have Nintendo, in their minds, be justified in their actions. Because even if you speak up against Nintendo and you criticize them, some of you are still going to buy their games, you're still going to buy their systems, you're going to give them money. And in a way, that's inadvertently becoming an enabler to the problem. Honestly, the only way I can think of that can even remotely get Nintendo to even see the light of day on some of these issues is for them to take a hit where it hurts. The checkbook. And sadly, I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening, unfortunately. And it's a shame. It really is a shame. And honestly, I have to say, and I'm not saying this to be disrespectful, but I don't see how anyone can be an actual fan of this company. And I'm not talking about the games. I can't see how anybody can be a fan of this company as a company, because they seem to make horrible business decision after horrible business decision, and decisions that actively hurt gamers. And yes, I know some of you out there might not monetize your videos that contain Nintendo footage, and some of you don't even make videos at all, and that part doesn't affect you. But it does affect some people, and you know what? They're as much of a gamer as you are. The person who has 6 digits of YouTube subscribers that they earned Because of them, they're as much of a gamer as you are to the person who doesn't have the subscribers and it doesn't make videos. They're as much of a gamer as you are. Even though they make money off of their videos, they're no different from you. So when I see Nintendo make decisions that actively hurt people, and they also make decisions that really don't help the gaming community at all, or even their own fans, I've never seen them actually make a decision based on what the fans want. I've never actually seen it. So honestly, it begs the question, at least to me, I don't see how anyone can really be a fan of this company. Just think about this one thing, and let this sink in when I say it. EA is usually voted as not just the worst gaming company of the year, but they've been voted as the worst overall company of the year out of every company in the world. But yet, I don't see them trying to take YouTubers' money that they earn. Let that sink in. Just let that sink in for a little bit, and how sad that really is that Nintendo is doing this. It's a shame. It really is. So, alright, this probably went on way too long. I just had to vent on this issue. Wasn't planning on it, but yeah, I felt like getting it all out there. So, alright, I will talk to y'all later. Have a good one.